Namaskar all. I'm Dr. Neha Sareen, Assistant Professor, Department of Management Studies, IIS deemed to be University Jaipur. In my last video on capital budgeting, I have explained that the capital budgeting techniques are divided among two heads, that is the traditional technique and the discounting cash flow technique. Traditional technique, also known as non-discounted cash flow technique. We have already discussed in detail regarding the traditional techniques. So in this video, we are going to discuss about the discounted cash flow techniques. Discounted cash flow techniques is also known as the time adjusted method. The basic difference between the non-discounting technique and the discounting technique is that the discounting techniques take into consideration the time factor, which the non-discounting techniques doesn't take. It doesn't take into consideration the time value of money. The non-discounting technique doesn't take into consideration the time value of money, while the discounting takes in consideration the time value of money. In recent years, the method has been recognized as the most meaningful technique for financial decision. There are certain methods which we are going to discuss under the discounting cash flow technique. We start with the present value method. There are certain steps involved in calculating this method. Determination of the cash flow. The first and foremost, we have to determine the cash outflow. Cash outflow is basically the initial investment which has been done in the project, which has been made in a particular project. After that, we determine the future cash inflows for the different periods. Then we have to take into consideration the discounting rate, which is basically equals to the cost of capital. After that, we can calculate the PVF, that is the present value factor. We compute the present value of all the cash inflows for different period and add them together. Salvage value and the working capital released at the end of the project economic life are also considered as the cash inflow and are duly discounted to the present value. The formula for calculating the present value is the cash flow into the present value factor. Present value factor can be calculated with a formula, that is 1 upon 1 plus Rn, where R is the required rate or the discounting rate which is given in the question, and N is the number of years. Either you can use this formula or you can refer the table as well, present value table. By using the present value table, you can trace out the value by seeing the year at the discounting rate which is already given in the question. Now, after calculating the present value of the particular project, we take the decision. The decision criteria will be, if the present value is greater than investment, if the present value of the cash inflow is greater than investment, that means the present value of the cash inflow is greater than the cash outflow, we accept the project. In case of vice versa, the rejection of the project or the proposal will be done. The next method under the discounting cash flow technique is the net present value method. It is a very important method which is used for taking the decisions. Net present value is the difference between the present value of the cash inflow and the present value of cash outflow over a period of time. It is basically the difference between the total present value of cash inflow and the initial investment. The simple acceptance criteria under this method is, if the NPV is greater than 0, we accept the proposal. If the calculated NPV is less than 0, we reject the proposal. But a situation can come when the two projects are mutually exclusive, or both the projects is having the NPV as greater than 0. In that case, the project which is having the higher net present value will be selected. So let's start with certain practical exposure. The first question which we are going to discuss based on the NPV is, the project M initially cost rupees 50,000. It generates the following cash flow. The cash flow for the 5 years is given to you, and the discounting rate 10% is given to you. You have to suggest whether the project should be accepted or rejected. So cash inflows for the 5 years is given. Present value which you might have calculated with using a formula 1 upon 1 plus Rn, or you can trace out the value from the table, but it is already given in the question. So we are going to directly take these values. The cash outflow as 50,000 is given to us. Now the acceptance criteria, we know that the value should be greater than 0. What we are going to do is, we are simply going to multiply the cash flow with the present value, cash inflows with the present value which is given to us. After simply multiplication, we are going to sum up all the values and we get a value of 54,498. Now we are going to put the formula for NPV, that is the total present value of cash inflow minus the initial investment. We can see that our answer is coming in positive aspect, that is it is greater than 0, 4,498. That means we can accept the project. We'll move further with more questions. Pawan brother is considering the purchase of machine. Two machines X and Y, each costing rupees 1 lakh, are available. Earning after tax are expected to be as under. Now the values of the cash inflows of the two machinery, machine X and Y, is given to you. The discounting rate is 10%. 5 years cash inflows value is there. Initial investment made by each machinery was 1 lakh. So first we have to calculate the cash inflow, because the cash inflow which is given in the question is earning after tax, but for NPV we require cash flow after tax before depreciation. So we have to add back the depreciation for getting the cash flows. Now first we have to calculate the depreciation value. The depreciation can be calculated with the help of the straight line method which is mentioned in the question. So how we are going to calculate the depreciation? Simply the cost of the project divided by the economic life. So cost of each machinery, the separate depreciation will be calculated for both the machineries. We'll start with machine X. Machine X costing 1 lakh divided by 5 years. So we get the depreciation value of 20,000. Similarly, we are going to calculate the depreciation value for machine Y, which will be again be equal to 20,000 because the initial investment was same. Now what we are going to do is, we are going to add back the depreciation in the earning after tax which is given to us in the question. That means 30,000, 40,000, 50,000, 35,000, 15,000, which is already given in the question. We are going to add the depreciation 20,000 in that, and we get a new cash inflow which is required for calculating the NPV. So the new cash inflow for machine X is 50,000, 60,000, 70,000, 55,000 and 35,000. Similarly, it will be calculated for machine Y. Now these cash flow has to be converted into the present value. We have a discounting factor rate at 10%. We are going to see the table, or we are going to use a formula and calculate the discounting factor rate first, which we have calculated as 0.909, 0.826, 0.751, 0.683, 0.621. Now what we are going to do is, we are simply going to multiply the discounting factor rate with the cash flow. We'll get the present value of the cash flow. We'll sum up the present value of all the 5 years, and then we are going to put the value in the formula. You can look for machine X. The present value, the summation of the 5 years present value is 2,06,880 less the initial investment which was 1 lakh. We get a value of 1,06,880. You can see the value for both the machinery are coming positive, that is greater than 0. So now if the project or the proposal is mutually exclusive, now what we have to do is, we have to see the value of the bigger the proposal which is showing you the greater value. So we can see that machine X is having an NPV value greater as compared to machine Y. So we are going to accept the proposal for machine X. Moving further, the next question is, a company is examining two mutually exclusive investment proposals. The management uses NPV method to evaluate the new investment proposal. Advise to the company to which proposal should be taken up by it. Depreciation is charged as straight line method. In this, the two proposals are given, that is proposal A and proposal B. Cash flows of both the proposals are given before tax. So for NPV, we require the cash flow after tax before depreciation. Cost of capital, that is a discounting rate for both the proposal, is 10%. Cost of project, proposal A is 23,000 and proposal B is 25,000. Life of proposal A is 4 years and B similar as 4 years. Salvage value of proposal A is 3,000 and of that of B is 5,000. Tax rate is 50% in both the cases. So let's solve it out. First and the foremost, what we have to do is to calculate the present value of the cash inflows. Before proceeding for the present value, we have to calculate the cash flows, cash inflows. So we require the cash flow after tax before depreciation, and the cash flow given in the question is before tax. So what we have to do, first and foremost, we have to calculate the value of depreciation. How we are going to calculate the value of depreciation? The cost of project is given to you. The cost of project is given in the question. See, you can see for the first year it is 23,000 less the salvage value, that is 3,000, divided by number of the economic life of the project, that is 4 years. Similarly, for project B, cost of project is 25,000 less the salvage value divided by the economic life. So you can see in proposal A, the depreciation is 5,000, which is calculated using the formula. In proposal B, the depreciation is similar 5,000 using the same straight line method formula. Now we are going to deduct the depreciation before deducting the taxes. Out of the cash flow before tax, we deduct the depreciation and we get the profit before tax, net profit before tax, that is 14,000. For proposal A, you can see for the 4 years it is 14,000. After that, we have to deduct the tax. As the tax rate is given 50%, we are going to deduct 50%, that is 7,000, and at the end we are going to get the value of cash flow after tax. Similarly, we are going to calculate for project B as well. Now we are going to calculate the present value of the cash inflows. Putting the present value factor, we have calculated. See, the salvage value will be considered at the last year, at the 5th year. The last rate, life of the, if the life of the project is 4 years, then the salvage value will be considered in the 4th year. So the present value of the 4th year will be taken into consideration for calculating the present value of the salvage value. After putting the values in the formula, proposal A NPV is 17,077 and proposal B NPV is 20,348. We can see the proposal is mutually exclusive because both the values are greater than 0. So the greater value will be considered as a decision. So we can see that the proposal B is showing a greater NPV as compared to proposal A. So we are going to go with proposal B. Now there are certain merits of this method. Few of them are, it considers the entire economic life. This method takes into account the entire economic life of an investment and income. It gives the true rate of return offered by the new project. Weightage to the time factor, it gives due weightage to the time factor of financing. Time value of money is considered in this factor, in this method. Suitable method for uneven cash inflows. It is most suitable for evaluating the project where the cash flows are uneven. Maximum profitability. It takes into consideration the objective of maximum profitability. Apart from the merits, there are certain demerits as well. The first and the foremost is complicated method. It is difficult and complicated. It is no doubt difficult and complicated method. It involves a large amount of calculations. Determination of the discount rate. it is difficult to determine the discount rate, determine the exact rate of the discount to be applied for. Size of the project. When the size in terms of investment made in the project differs, this method may not provide a satisfactory answer. Computation of economic life of the project. It is very difficult to calculate the economic life of the project. Now the next method is the IRR, that is the internal rate of return. Internal rate of return is a metric used in capital budgeting to estimate the profitability of the potential investment. The IRR is a discount rate that makes the NPV of all the cash flows from the particular project equals to 0. In other words, we can say it is the rate at which the NPV of the project becomes 0. The calculation of the IRR can be done under two circumstances. One can when the cash inflows are equal for over the economic life of the asset, and the other can be when the cash inflows are uneven over the economic life of the asset. If the cash inflow is equal over the economic life of the object, then the procedure for calculating the IRR would be, first and the foremost, we are going to calculate the present value factor. The formula used for calculating the present value factor will be initial investment divided by the annual cash inflow. Whatever value we are getting, we are going to see that present value factor in the annuity table. Present value annuity table, we are going to trace the value, and we are going to find out the LDR and the GDR, HDR and the LDR from that table. HDR means the higher discounting rate and LDR means the lower discounting rate. The nearest bigger value and the nearest smaller value of the present value which we have calculated will be considered for determining HDR and LDR. After that, we are going to put the values in the formula. The formula for IRR is LDR, that is the lower discount rate, plus P1, that is the present value of the cash inflow at LDR, less initial investment divided by P1, again that is the present value of the cash inflow at LDR, minus P2, that is the present value of the cash inflow at HDR, and then in the bracket HDR minus LDR. The percentage which we will be getting is the IRR. Now, on the other end, we can have a situation when the cash inflow are unequal or uneven over the economic life of the project. The procedure for calculating the IRR would be same, but the only difference is in calculating the present value factor. When the cash flows were equal, we are using the formula initial investment divided by the annual cash inflows. But when the cash inflows are unequal or uneven, we are going to use a formula initial investment divided by average annual cash inflows. And average annual cash inflows will be calculated with the help of the formula, that is total cash inflows divided by economic life of the project. Now, after calculating the present value factor, again we are going to use the annuity table and find out the arbitrary internal rate of return. Thereafter, the calculation of the total present value of the cash inflow for the different period will be done. There are certain merits of this method also. Few of them are, it considers the time factor as it is the part of the discounted cash flow technique, so it also takes into consideration the time value of money. It considers the entire economic life. It considers the profitability of the project for the entire economic life. Determination of the cost of capital not essential. Under this method, calculation of the cost of capital is not that essential. More realistic. It is more realistic and consistent with the rate of interest paid on borrowing. Risk and uncertainty. This approach provides for the risk and uncertainty by recognizing the time factor. Apart from the merits, there are certain demerits as well. Few of them are, it is a complicated method. It involves a good amount of calculation. Unadjusted assumptions. This method is based upon the assumption that earnings are reinvested at the IRR for the remaining life of the project, which is not at all a justified assumption. Multiple rates. It gives multiple rates when the cash flows alternate between the positive and the negative aspect. In such cases, in the absence of a single rate of return, it is difficult to evaluate the project. With this, we come to an end of this presentation. Thank you so much.